Let's talk about the big stories, the timeless tales that have echoed through the ages. We're talking about the ones with gods behaving badly, often in spectacular and scandalous fashion. And then there are the heroes, larger-than-life figures who are brave but also deeply flawed, wrestling with their own inner demons even as they battle external foes. We're diving headfirst into the captivating world of Greek mythology, the very foundation upon which so much of Western storytelling is built. It's the bedrock of countless narratives that continue to inspire us today. These tales are grand in scope, often quite silly in their details, profoundly tragic in their consequences, and ultimately deeply human in their exploration of the human condition. The Greeks sought to explain the mysteries of the world around them with these stories, providing answers, or at least frameworks, for understanding why the sun moves across the sky and why the seasons relentlessly change. For them, myths served as their science, their religion, and their primary form of entertainment, a source of both instruction and delight. Even today, millennia later, we find ourselves captivated and enthralled by them. Our modern superheroes echo the strength and struggles of Heracles, and our own epic journeys often mirror the trials and tribulations of Odysseus. These enduring myths have profoundly shaped our language, our art, and our fundamental ideas about justice, the inescapable hand of fate, the complexities of love, and the sting of betrayal. They're not just fantastical stories about gods and terrifying monsters. Ultimately, they're about us, reflecting our deepest ambitions, our most profound fears, and our ongoing struggles to make sense of the world. So, settle in and get comfortable as we embark on a journey through this ancient and endlessly fascinating landscape. We'll encounter powerful titans, majestic Olympians, and courageous mortals who dared to challenge the very gods themselves. It's a sweeping saga filled with passion, raw power, and more than its fair share of truly outrageous and scandalous bad behavior. But that's precisely what makes it so utterly irresistible, isn't it? It's the ultimate timeless family drama playing out on a cosmic scale. And the best part is, we're all invited to witness the spectacle. So let's begin this incredible journey together. Welcome one and all to the extraordinary world of Greek myth. Before anything existed, before the dawn of time itself, there was chaos. Imagine a realm without form, without structure, a place where the very concept of existence was undefined. A vast, formless void, an infinite expanse of nothingness where potential lay dormant, waiting to be awakened. This was the primordial state, the canvas upon which the universe would eventually be painted. From chaos emerged Gaia, the earth, solidifying from the swirling nothingness. She was the foundation, the bedrock upon which all life would eventually flourish. Tartarus, the underworld, a shadowy abyss lurking beneath the surface, the antithesis to Gaia's life-giving embrace. It was a place of darkness and imprisonment. And Eros, the force of desire, the irresistible pull that binds all things together, the spark of creation itself. He was the embodiment of love and longing. Gaia, feeling lonely in her vastness, created Uranus, the sky, to cover and embrace her. He was the celestial dome, the protector of the earth. And together, in a union of earth and sky, they became the first divine couple, the progenitors of a new generation of beings. Their children were the Cyclopes, giants with a single, all-seeing eye in the center of their foreheads, and the Hecatoncheires, monstrous beings with 100 arms and 50 heads, possessing unimaginable strength. These monstrous beings Uranus despised, finding them hideous and a threat to his power. In horror and fear, Uranus imprisoned them deep within Gaia, banishing them from the light. This act of cruelty caused Gaia immense pain and resentment, fueling a burning desire for revenge. Gaia, unable to bear the suffering of her children any longer, decided to act, plotting against her tyrannical husband. She crafted a flint sickle, a weapon of immense power forged from the very earth itself. And rallying her next children, the Titans, a race of powerful and majestic beings, she asked for help to overthrow Uranus, to free their imprisoned siblings and end his cruel reign. Only the youngest Titan, Cronus, driven by ambition and a thirst for power, dared to step forward and accept his mother's challenge. Cronus ambushed Uranus, seizing his opportunity to strike against the unsuspecting sky god, and with one brutal act of violence, he ended his father's reign, castrating him with the flint sickle. From Uranus's blood, spilled upon the earth, new beings were born, creatures of vengeance and destruction. These were the Furies, goddesses of vengeance, and the Giants, powerful warriors born for battle. As he fell, Uranus cursed Cronus, foretelling a grim future for his son. He warned that he too would be overthrown by his own child, destined to suffer the same fate he had inflicted upon his father. With Uranus defeated, Cronus became ruler of the cosmos, ushering in a new era. But the prophecy haunted him, casting a long shadow over his reign and filling him with paranoia. The Titans now ruled the cosmos, ushering in an age of power and dominance. But the seeds of the next conflict were sown, planted deep within the heart of the new order. The cycle of power and paranoia had begun, a repeating pattern of ambition, betrayal, and revenge. The stage was set for the next generation of gods, the children of Cronus, who would challenge the Titans' rule. Greek myth is a story of family, ambition, and rebellion, a tapestry woven with threads of love, hate, and destiny. The universe was no longer empty, no longer a blank canvas. It was alive with drama, teeming with gods, monsters, and heroes, all vying for power and glory. And the story was just getting started, with countless tales of gods and mortals yet to be told. Enter the Age of the Titans, an era of immense power and looming conflict, a time when the fate of the cosmos hung in the balance. Cronus, armed with Gaia's sickle, overthrew Uranus and became king. He married his sister Rhea, and the Titans ruled in a golden age. But Cronus feared his father's prophecy, that his own child would overthrow him. To prevent this, he swallowed each of his children at birth: Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon. Rhea, desperate to save her last child, sought help from Gaia and Uranus. She gave birth to Zeus in secret, hiding him in a cave on Crete. Rhea tricked Cronus by giving him a swaddled stone, which he swallowed, thinking it was his son. Zeus grew up in hiding, destined to challenge his father. The cycle of betrayal and rebellion continued. The gods' family drama was far from over. The fate of the cosmos hung in the balance. The next great conflict was about to begin. The age of the Olympians was on the horizon. The prophecy would soon be fulfilled. Zeus, having finally reached adulthood and honed his skills, was now ready to confront the formidable Cronus. He knew the task ahead would be fraught with peril, but the desire to avenge his swallowed siblings burned fiercely within him. His primary goal was clear: to free his siblings from the dark prison within their father's belly. With the cunning and strategic mind of Medusa aiding him, Zeus began to formulate a plan. He devised a clever scheme to trick Cronus, offering him a potent potion designed to induce vomiting and force him to regurgitate his swallowed children. Once freed, Zeus reunited with his siblings, and together the Olympians made a momentous decision. They declared war on the Titans, their tyrannical predecessors. This conflict would become known as the Titanomachy, a war of epic proportions. The war raged for a grueling 10 years, its intensity shaking the very foundations of the cosmos, causing earthquakes and storms of unimaginable power. As the war dragged on, the Olympians began to realize they needed more power and allies if they were to stand a chance against the mighty Titans. In a desperate move, Zeus made the bold decision to descend into the depths of Tartarus and free the Cyclopes and Hecatoncheires, ancient giants imprisoned by Cronus. In gratitude for their release, the Cyclopes, master craftsmen of immense skill, set to work forging weapons of unimaginable power. They crafted mighty thunderbolts for Zeus, weapons capable of shaking the heavens, a trident for Poseidon, granting him dominion over the seas, and a helm of darkness for Hades, allowing him to become invisible and command the shadows. Armed with these divine weapons and bolstered by the strength of their new allies, the Olympians finally gained the upper hand in the war. The Titans, weakened and outmatched, were ultimately defeated and cast down into the deepest abyss of Tartarus. There, they were imprisoned and guarded by the Hecatoncheires, the hundred-handed giants, ensuring they could never rise again. With the Titans vanquished, Zeus and his siblings claimed a hard-fought victory, ushering in a new era. They set about establishing a new order, a new way of governing the cosmos. In a symbolic act of ascension, they climbed Mount Olympus, the highest peak in Greece. From there, they would rule, becoming the new rulers of the universe, their power absolute. The Age of the Olympians had officially begun, marking a significant shift in the balance of power. The world, both mortal and divine, would never be the same under their rule. The gods now ruled from their magnificent mountain palace, a testament to their power and authority. Their reign would shape the fate of gods and mortals alike, influencing every aspect of existence and maintaining the delicate cosmic balance. The divine drama, filled with intrigue, love, war, and betrayal, was just beginning to unfold. Welcome to Olympus, the home of the gods. With the Titans gone, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades divided the universe. Zeus ruled the sky, Poseidon the sea, and Hades the underworld. Mount Olympus became the center of divine drama. Zeus's rule was complicated by his many affairs, sparking Hera's legendary jealousy. Their conflicts fueled countless myths, passion, betrayal, and revenge. The Olympian court included Hestia, Demeter, Apollo, Artemis, Ares, Hephaestus, Aphrodite, Athena, and Hermes. Each god and goddess had unique powers and personalities, shaping every aspect of mortal life. The Olympian squabbles and romances played out like a cosmic soap opera. Their stories explained the world and human nature. The gods were powerful, but also deeply flawed. Their dramas mirrored our own. The stage was set for mortals to enter the story. The adventure continued below. Where do mortals fit in? Enter Prometheus, the clever titan who shaped humanity from clay. Seeing humans cold and helpless, Prometheus stole fire from Olympus, defying Zeus. Fire transformed humanity, bringing warmth, light, and the spark of civilization. Zeus, enraged, punished Prometheus by chaining him to a rock, where an eagle ate his liver daily. But Zeus also punished humanity. He ordered the creation of Pandora, the first woman, gifted with beauty and curiosity. Pandora was given a sealed jar and told never to open it. Unable to resist, she opened it, releasing all the world's evils, sickness, sorrow, and death. Only hope remained inside. Humanity was left to struggle, but hope endured. The gods' gifts were double-edged. The world was now a place of suffering and resilience. The line between divine and mortal was forever blurred. The next chapter belonged to heroes. Enter the Age of Legends. In a world shaped by gods and chaos, heroes emerged, often demigods, bridging mortal and divine. Their stories inspired courage and showed that determination could triumph over monsters and fate. Perseus, aided by Athena and Hermes, slew Medusa using a mirrored shield. Heracles, son of Zeus, faced the 12 labors, impossible tasks that tested his strength and spirit. These heroes battled monsters and their own inner demons: pride, rage, despair. Theseus braved the labyrinth to slay the Minotaur, symbolizing the struggle with our own darkness. Jason and the Argonauts sought the Golden Fleece, facing betrayal and ambition. These adventures were more than action. They explored what it means to be human. The heroes' journeys became timeless templates. Their stories still resonate today. The line between myth and reality blurred. The Age of Heroes shaped the world. Their legends live on. The Trojan War is the most famous Greek epic, a saga of gods, heroes, and fate. It began with a golden apple and a quarrel among goddesses leading Paris to choose Aphrodite's bribe, Helen. Helen's abduction sparked a decade-long war between Greeks and Trojans. Heroes like Achilles and Odysseus fought while gods took sides. The war ended with Odysseus's cunning plan, the Trojan horse. Troy fell, but Odysseus's journey was just beginning. His voyage home took 10 years filled with monsters, temptations, and trials. He outwitted the Cyclops, resisted the Sirens, and braved the underworld. Meanwhile, his wife Penelope waited, fending off suitors. The Odyssey is a tale of perseverance, cleverness, and the longing for home. These epics define the hero's journey. Their influence endures in every adventure story. The myths of Troy and Odysseus are immortal. What's the final lesson from these ancient tales? Greek myths helped people make sense of a mysterious world, explaining nature, fate, and human flaws. They taught moral lessons, the dangers of hubris, the power of cleverness, and the consequences of actions. Their influence is everywhere, from our language to our art, from planets' names to Hollywood blockbusters. The hero's journey, the tragic flaw, the epic adventure, all trace back to these myths. We return to them because they're about us, our hopes, fears, and dreams. They remind us of our capacity for greatness and folly, love and jealousy. The gods may be gone, but their stories live on in our imaginations. That's true immortality. Greek mythology is the DNA of Western culture. The adventure never really ends, and that's why these myths will never die.